Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to another Friday night live stream, Georgia Shooting Connection. We are going to be without Mr. Chico, so I don't really know how to start this thing tonight. So, anyway, thank y'all for joining us. We have our regular buddy, Mr. Kyle Lusk, is here. We have the Crazy Scotsman. We have Sharenda. We have some other links out. There's Mr. Ocean. And Charlie, I beat you to the punch, bud. All right, yeah. Can y'all see the side chat?
Almost.
Almost.
Please hold.
Please hold. So y'all wait for just a minute.
Okay, now I'm live and in color.
All right, cool, Andy. I'm glad you got your crossbow, man. So, yeah, I want to see some shooting videos too. If you do some, I'll do some. Maybe they won't kick us off YouTube for that. Anyway,
I want to say that too. I've been looking into some crossbow action. Looks like a really fun thing. Anyway, hey guys, glad everybody could make it down or over or up or ain't too many people up. But yeah, glad everybody could make it. We're going to have a wonderful little chat tonight. Got some nice special guests here. Just enjoy our Friday nights hanging out with you guys. And Scotsman, take it away.
Well, good to be here. Appreciate the link as always. So thank you. Good to see everyone on the side chat. And I'm looking forward to see what Pink Shears has got today.
Hey, shooting with Uncle Dan. Glad you're here. Scotsman, thanks for joining us, man. I sent him a email earlier this morning and asked him could he join us tonight because Chico was he's actually at a community meeting kind of thing, stuff going on in his neighborhood, and he's trying to do something about it. And I appreciate him being politically involved. And as always, we want to take and welcome Miss Pink Shears, Save the Ducks, who slaughtered a mess of ducks this past weekend.
Well, you don't have to save live ducks, just pewter ducks. Those ducks are pretty tasty too, by the way. Thanks for having me on again tonight. I guess you guys aren't too bored of me yet.
Everybody is just congratulating us on adding you to the crowd here. We're thankful that you would join us. And
get me, I'm picking you guys for information and getting a whole bunch of stuff, and I can go back and rewatch.
Well, there you go. So we that's pretty much our topic tonight. I wanted to go back to the basics and just my idea was just kind of like why do we reload? What attracted us to reloading in the beginning, and then the natural progression from that is what Sharenda was talking to us about earlier. She's got a bunch of quote unquote newbie questions. So we're going to let her bounce questions off of us. The reason I first started wanting to learn to reload was so that I could be self-sufficient in a SHTF type situation, that I wouldn't need anything from anybody. I could go get what I needed or make what I need. And Ocean says ammo is too expensive. So that's true. So, and it's kind of like you start to reload so you can save money and be self-sufficient. And then you start making better ammo than you can buy. Then you buy better stuff to make even better ammo. So there you go.
Jamie just took all my talking points. Thanks.
Well, for me, when I got started, it was just somebody planted the seed in my head. You know, you have the bunch of old guys that hang out at the range that never shoot anymore because they can't see, and they used to reload.
Sit on a bench and talk.
Yeah, it's kind of like that's where they hang out at after they retire now. And one of them mentioned that I should get into reloading because I was shooting so much, and I had no idea what that even was. But as I took a couple of classes here and there, I started liking it a lot. And then I realized it didn't getting started. It's not really per se cheaper initially to get started because you have to buy the equipment. But once I had the basics, I'm not technically saying I'm saving money. It is cheaper for me to make my rounds, but because I can make them whenever I want and the quantities that I want, I'm actually shooting more. So it's eh,
Yeah, that's the thing. You're not going to save any money. You're just going to shoot a lot more.
definitely.
You know, if you're going to put $20 in the kitty every week, you can either buy ammo with it or you can stop buying ammo for a couple of times and save up enough money just to get started. And
Yeah.
you keep putting that $20 in the kitty instead of buying 2 boxes of 50 rounds of pistol ammunition, you can reload 5 boxes. Well, not if you're buying bullets. But you can reload at least 3.5 or 4. Then if you start casting your own stuff, you're going to have to sit the kitty aside a little bit longer to buy the equipment to cast with. But then you're looking at, you got 3 cents in a primer, depending on the powder and the caliber that you're shooting, maybe 7 cents worth of powder. And if you can come up with a free source of lead, all you're out's the electricity and your time. And then
Yeah, I'm not a caster yet, so that's definitely where you guys come in handy because I can.
it won't take you long. I can cast up a bunch of 9mm, and Scotsman can tell you in a heartbeat. And you can cast them quicker than you can shoot them almost. And if you've got a good source of lead, which is getting harder and harder to come by, you can buy it off the internet. But I don't like to buy if I don't have to.
Who does?
Right.
All right. Let's look at these two statements right here. Shooting with Uncle Dan says, well, it is caliber dependent, really. Some rounds you can buy literally as cheap or close to as cheap, if not cheaper, than you can reload for them. Then Lever Guns 50 says, trust me, I save money reloading at almost $200 for 20 rounds. $10 a pop. Yes, sir. And really and truly, the reason I got, one of the reasons I got started into reloading was when I went to buy some 35 Remington, and they actually cost $35 for a box of 20.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
yeah, like right now you can buy 1mm.
The sad part is one of the reasons I got started into this was because when I was in the industry, I saw how much the boxes actually cost coming in versus what we had to pay for them. And I'm like, that's just stupid. So it's like, yeah, we got to make profit and everything else. But, it was just kind of one of the things there was for me for getting started. And then I had, with shooting with a lot of other people and going to competitions here and there, you want to make better ammo. You want to make more accurate ammo. And that's one of the biggest advantages for sure is being more accurate.
Yeah, when you start reloading rifle rounds and stuff like that, you can make your own ammunition. I'm not necessarily saying casting, but you can make your own ammunition a lot more accurate than they do from the factory because you can taper it to your barrel and your chamber. And what Jamie hinted on a minute ago, 9mm right now you can buy it cheaper than you can reload it almost, but you end up with free brass. So there's always that.
yeah, if you pick it up.
Well, you got to pick it up.
Got to pick it up.
Do you know how hard it is for me to go to an amateur competition shoot? You can't pick up that brass.
See, what you're doing wrong is you got to take Chico with you. You just track the crowd, and Chico will pick up all the brass.
Yeah, Chico will be like, "What's that over there?"
Edward, that right there makes it a lot more fun than anything else.
And that
It is. And I saw a comment earlier from Kingpin too. That he's trying to learn a little bit, and it can be overwhelming. It can be sometimes, depending on what you're trying to do. But the biggest thing with that is step back, take a second, and number one, you got my phone number, so you got a problem, call me.
I don't.
You got a whole bunch of other people out here that can help you too. So
You don't need his phone number. You got mine.
when,
I'm gonna say you got. I don't know.
he's over there. Over there. When
He's got way more knowledge than me.
when things get overwhelming, and it's happened to me quite a few times, especially like you load up some ladder loads and you can't even hit the target. You got to stop, back up, rethink about everything that you did. And there's one step you left out or one step you didn't exactly do correctly that created this problem. So now we just have to figure out what that was. And sometimes it's grabbing a different powder and going off a buddy's load. He may have a 43-inch barrel 308 and you're trying to shoot it out of a 18-inch AR. It's not going to be the same. You're not going to get the results that he got. And barrel twist rates and all that stuff come into play, but that's just throwing more stuff on your plate, and it doesn't need to be that way. If I was going to start reloading, which this is the way I did it, I would start with a very common pistol caliber because you can get, components everywhere.
Uncle Dan ain't right.
It's true though. I already told him that number's wrong. I told him the right phone number.
I can imagine.
I even gave him the customer support email too.
Oh, it's 1-800-Glocksman.
Was that Glocktard I saw? Yeah.
1-800-Glocktard.
Or you can reach him at the Crazy Glocksman at ohmygod.com.
Hey,
Well, I would tell you what the customer support email is, but I can't say it on here. It's not not a friendly email.
so lever guns. Today I saw Kenny's Eagle Eyes video, and they're making plastic casings now.
I'm going to be interested to see how well that handles over time with heat and pressure.
What's he loading for?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Butterbean. I actually just enjoy just reloading. It's nice to get up on the sat. Well, before I logged on here, I spent about an hour making up an extra 500 rounds just to store. And my biggest problem right now is deciding on, do I want the magenta or light pink ammo for next month?
Oh, that was you that posted that?
Yeah, that was me.
I saw that and I'm like,
with Yoda. Yeah, that was me.
Rich White, this discussion is way old at this point. What was it? The Smith and Wesson, was that was the Sigma, right, Scotsman?
The SD9 VE or the Sigma, both are extremely like a Glock.
They're Glock clones. Smith and Wesson basically took a Glock and reverse engineered it and made the Sigma, and it stunk. and then they got it to where it would work, and they called it the SDVE, but it's still a Glock with a Smith & Wesson name on it, to the point that Smith & Wesson has to pay Glock $35 for every one of them they sell, and they can still sell them for under $300 a piece. So why can't Glock? Because they like money. They like money too much.
That they do.
But hey, man, this is America, and we're a capitalist society. So what's wrong with making money? If people want to pay for a Glock, more power to them.
Here's the way I look at it. If you want to pay for a Glock, that's fine. If you want to pay for somebody that went through all the time and trouble and everything to reverse engineer it and come out with the same product for cheaper, and you want to buy their product, guess what? The person that put in the most work is probably going to make the most money.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. My very first gun was a Glock.
Hell, I own 2 of them.
Still have it.
Not me.
Still have. I can't part with my very first firearm.
Well,
Yes,
let me tell you why I own a Glock.
Yes, you can, because it was just a Glock, so it's not going to hurt you. You can part with that. Trust me, you'll be okay.
I bought a local prep store pretty close to work that a buddy of mine worked at. Said, "Hey, man, we got these police trade-ins, and they're Glocks, but we got them at a good deal. You want to come over here and look at them, and maybe pick one up?" So I went over there, and I got a Glock 17. That's a 9mm. And I took it out. I said, whatever. A buddy of mine said, if you don't like it, I'll pay it with the sales tax and all that. Just give it to me. I'm like, okay. So I didn't have anything to lose. Then I went out and shot it, and I was like, this is actually the first Glock that I've ever been able to hit the broadside of a barn while standing inside of it. This is awesome. And then he called me a couple of months later. We got these Glock 21s, 45s, same deal, same price. I'm like, really? And they've already got the iridium night sights and all that. I mean, they're ready to roll. So I go over there. I'm like, yeah, just give me one. And so I take it home, take it to the range, shoot it. I'm like, wow, this is nice. I actually like my Glock 21 a lot. Had a couple of problems out of the Glock 17, and I have to take it to it's got some wore out components. It's been used. I'm going to take it to Glock and have them go back through it. And I've already called them. They're going to replace the barrel, replace all the springs with the updated kits, blah, 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 blah. And they said, you can wait on it. Just bring it over and drop it off with the armor. And you can wait on it and watch TV and eat some popcorn. I'm like, eh. And it's all free. So I should have a relatively new Glock whenever I can find the time to go over there.
Okay. Rich, I understand what you're saying. So never mind. Okay, so we shouldn't have got on this Glock stuff. There's a lot of people that really like Glocks, and that's okay. But I'm a blued steel and wood kind of guy. Y'all all know that about me, and that's just the way I am. That's what I like. That's what I like to look at. That's what I like the feel of, and that's what I like. What I like to shoot. And I can't, Uncle Dan, really and truly, I can't say anything good or bad about Glocks because I've only shot one, and that was only for 5 rounds. I tried to shoot Kyle's at the range one day, but it tore up before it got my turn. So,
Wow.
Glock dependable. Or what'd you say? What'd you say, Scotsman?
Perfection.
Yeah, Glock perfection.
When I first started learning, I didn't care. I loved all guns, but the more I shoot, the more I'm starting to have preferences. I'm turning into a snob.
Well, if you're turning into a snob, you'll get rid of that first gun, no problem, and get you a nice blued steel and wood.
I got-
Sentimental.
I got spoiled right out of the gate. My very
Now-
first gun was a Colt lightweight Commander in 45. So
Now, Scotsman, notice I said that was my first gun. I've evolved since then.
How many Smith and
That's why
Wessons
you can
do
get rid
you
of it.
I don't have any yet.
That last little preposition saved you.
Oh, the yet. I've
Yeah.
shot some Smith and Wessons. There's a couple that I like, and of course there's two of them that I didn't care for just because they didn't fit in my hand that well.
Okay, there's a man with experience. Have y'all seen Jesse B shoot in his backyard?
Yes.
I'm talking about the boy can rattle up some steel. So you got 3 Glocks, 4 Rugers, a Beretta, and a CZ. Which ones do you like the best? Tell me your favorite pistol.
and be
Well,
honest.
Go into war.
Choose your words wisely.
Right.
That's that Jesse B, right?
Be honest, Jesse. Be honest. He's asking an honest question. He wants an honest answer.
Now, Uncle Dan, you know you've got Smith and Wesson revolvers too.
Well, he gave you an honest answer, Jamie.
That's a
Yeah, that just came out, didn't it, Kenny? That's going to be awesome, man.
I really do need to run it down and get it redone. I've been having a couple of problems. Then me and Jamie and Scotsman were up at the range shooting, and Glock, I think Scotsman fired like 2 shots through it, and it did what it's been doing to me. And it was totally clean. I cleaned it before we went, and it stovepiped and failure to feed, and he goes, yeah, Glock perfection. I'm like, it's wore out, dude. Look at the guide spring or the recoil spring rod. It's like S shaped and all. I mean, it's wore out, dude. They said they'd fix it for free. I just hadn't had time to run it by there. But the Glock 21 performs spectacularly. What are you doing? And why are you doing it?
I don't own a revolver yet either.
Shame on you.
Hey, my debit card only works so much.
Part saved you once again.
Yeah, I have. One of these days, I may show you guys my wish list. Problem is, it's never ending.
I love my Ruger Red Hawk in 44. It is a beast of a pistol. You have to go to the gym to be able to hold it straight out for more than 14 seconds because it is heavy. But it's Jamie shot it, and we put some high-powered stuff through it, and he was like, whoa.
You think a gun that big and that heavy is not going to recoil, but leave it to me to find the rounds at the gun store that will put that big old grip through your palm.
I'm trying to finish those off. I'm using the rifle so I can have the brass because it's a lot easier with the rifle. But yeah, I really do think there was something. I thought about emailing Remington and going, hey, you had any complaints on this lot of ammo? Because Jesus. Even your buddy, that 4th of July shoot, he shot one up and just sat it down and went, that's just stupid.
He shot 2, and then I finished the cylinder for him.
God. Hello.
Rugers are nice.
You want your internet appearances tonight?
I do own 2 Rugers, but they're not anything to brag on. No,
That's
3
what
Rugers.
That's what I'm talking about. Preacher's Day off.
What did he say? Where's it at?
Hey, Mark.
Getting attacked by a dog?
He said if you shoot a revolver, you never have to pick brass up off the ground again. So
That
do
is
yourself a favor.
The brass gods don't get theirs.
Get yourself a revolver and don't be bending over. Because when you get old, that hurts.
It hurts even when you're younger. Don't listen to him. It hurts anytime you got to keep on doing that.
That's just because you're 7 feet tall. That's why yours hurts. Shut up.
So, Big E, this 627 with 8-shot moon clipazines. I'm thinking, okay, Kenny, I got to check that out, man. I'll be looking at your thing. Okay, we got a new panel member here. Welcome.
Oh,
Howdy, guys. How's it going?
sir.
I'm on here with a celebrity.
Yeah.
Celebrity. So what's the topic? What are you guys talking about?
Randoms.
We were talking about why we started reloading, and then it got into a pistol fight about Glocks and revolvers and picking brass up off the ground and all this crap. You know how we do. We start with noble ideas, and then we degenerate into the sewer.
So who won, the Glocks or the revolvers?
We've got a couple of people that prefer Glocks. We got a couple of people that prefer Smith and Wesson autos, CZs, revolvers. Everybody loves a revolver. Some people haven't bought one yet. It's actually been pretty entertaining.
So Cranky, he shot a revolver for the first time, I believe, at that Uncle Jim get together.
Yep. And did you see the smile on his face?
Yeah, I love revolvers, but I also like Glocks. So I wouldn't say I love Glocks. It's hard to love a Glock, you know? It's like loving a dependable old truck, you know? You like the truck, you use it, it works every time, but love it?
Yeah, I was telling the crazy Scotsman that I need to take mine down to Smyrna to the Glock factory, and I've already called him because I'm having some issues with it, and he experienced it when he was down here shooting with us. It jammed up and failure to feed and everything. He handed it back to me and goes, "Yep, Glock excellence," or something like that. I think is what he said. But I called them and they said, "Oh yeah, we've revised those every part of the action and everything like 4 times since that serial number came out. Bring that in. We'll replace everything, even the barrel." I'm like, "Oh, okay, no charge."
What generation was it? Like a Gen 2 or something?
It's like a Gen 2 police trade-ins. What it is.
Mm.
I just got a good deal on it, and it already had the iridium night sights and all that stuff on it. So, and I had a guarantee that if I didn't like it, the guy I work with said, "I will pay you every penny that you paid for it, including the sales tax." I was like, okay, because apparently he knew that Glock would rebuild the dang thing for free.
Yeah.
Taco, I think that's a comment for you, bud.
Let's go be in a Dodge. Yeah, I actually just barely, like right before hopping on here, I just released a new video. It's a 147 grain 9mm, and in that video I have to do the one-handed like high point racking, but
I don't own a single semi-automatic pistol that I can do that with.
It has to be a blowback, and it has to have a super bulky slide, and that's why the high points work. But what's his name? Was it MCK? He was having a tough time doing the one-handed rack, but I think Tin Man he did it the first time.
Yeah, Tin Man nailed it. Yeah. The only high point, I've shot a bunch of high points. The only one that I actually really loved was a 40 cal carbine.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they feel like stormtrooper plastic movie guns. I mean, they feel like props, but they shoot very well.
Yeah. So Mig was saying Taco has a new video. Better watch it before YouTube deletes it. I think I'm up to 30 of them now that they've deleted.
Wow.
Wow, that sucks.
But oh well, you know. Oh, and I guess Eagle Eye says the same thing.
He's watching it before they delete it.
Let me send Eagle a invite here.
Well, he already told you he's busy.
Oh yeah, he's watching.
He's got to get his taco time in.
So what have you guys loaded up lately? And I was gonna say, and Jamie, did you ever figure out a better way to crimp those 350 legends?
I think I'm just going to do what you suggested, and if I can get Kenny on here, maybe I can get him to show me exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about. I can't show y'all this, can I? Wow, y'all, we got 62. Can I
only 27 thumbs up. 28.
Yeah, what's up with that? That's better than 47 thumbs down.
True.
We'll take 27 thumbs up. Okay.
True.
MCK's loading up 30-06 and a bunch of 45 ACP. We got Preacher's Day Off. Big E, the crazy Scotsman, is in the room. Oceans 374. Eagle Eyes watching. Rollis Cavellas. I can't say your last name. I'm sorry, Rollis. Miss Kitty is out there. I'm not Will Rogers. Reloader 762. The Texas Outlaw Michael Sines. Kyle Lusk is in the room. Pink Shears is in the room. Rich White. Walter Davis. John Fazier. Ocean 374. Mig. Room. Big E. There's Bigger behind the trigger. Dude, I got to watch your 2 videos you put out today. West Covina Dodge. Hey, Pat. Old Guy 1. The Emperor. PC Bullet Empire. And that's all I'm seeing. Rich White, did I say him? I did. Big E.
Jesse B's out there.
Jesse B. Daniel God is my judge. Jerry 1911. Andy 79Z28. Thoughts of an Old Soldier's out there.
He's out there somewhere. I got my first book from you today, sir.
Butterbean 05. And we'll try to get the rest of y'all later. If I missed you, I apologize.
Those little knots right there, just to do that little thing.
We miss Chico. He has talents. Oh, there's Fuzz. Oh,
Fuzz.
Oh, gosh. Hey, baby.
OCD Outdoors just joined us. MCK.
A charger for this?
Broke Loader. James Pollard. Did I miss a bunch of y'all? There's the Eagle.
Mig, we've got a rough estimate on Dead Zero, the Sunday after Easter.
Huh? Easter. That's right around the corner.
It's not warm enough.
April?
Yeah, April 18th and 19th.
Well, Mr. Lee, I wasn't going to promote that. I thought they'd just get a pleasant surprise when they went on there to order it. There's been a price reduction on Thoughts of an Old Soldier's books. He's trying to do a blowout, and I finally had a little bit of extra cash, and I got with him Monday during his chat, and he was talking about the price reduction. I was like, I did not know about that, but okay. Just on Amazon, right? Yep. All you got to do is go to Amazon. So I ordered the 2 books he's got, and then me and him went back and forth for a while for a bunch of titles for his 3rd book, but I don't know if any of them are worth anything, but maybe it'll give him some ideas to get creative with.
I'll show y'all what I've been loading lately. I'll show you what I've been doing lately. Can y'all see those? Those are some of my 350 Legend 358 Eagle.
Nice.
Let me
Oh,
show
nice.
you what I got. These are on my new video that's on the Reloaders Network. I haven't released it on YouTube yet, but I probably will, probably Sunday. This is the bullet that I need to go big since Mr. Taco asked. Let me show these.
Hey, so quick question. Now, is it okay to pick up like a barrel, or is that still not legit for live streams? Can you pick up a barrel?
Wi-Fi camera.
What about it, Scotsman? What do you think?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, you can do parts and pieces, but honestly, it's just not worth.
I was going to say technically it's not a firearm because it doesn't have a serial number, but they can probably still.
You got to remember, we're playing on their ground, and they pick and choose and make up whatever they want to make up. So, I mean, technically, according to their rules as of now, yes, you probably could, but
Is
is it really worth the risk? You know.
Well, I ended up
Ridiculous.
picking up a 9x39 barrel from Davidson Defense yesterday or the day before. Yeah. They had
Look at that cartridge, man. It looks very interesting.
Yeah, so I've been busy like drawing up a new design for a bullet mold for that. I think it's a 285 grain bullet.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
I got one factory round like from Wolf, and I pulled it apart and pulled out the bullet. It's kind of interesting. They have like a hollow. I don't know if you can even see it, but it's hollow on the base. So it looks like you could fit probably about, I don't know, 25 grains of lead in there. But
Yeah, they had to do that or it'd weigh 305 grains.
I know, but why couldn't they make it weigh 305 grains or whatever? Because I think it weighs, let's see, it's 275-ish. So if they could do, I mean, that'd put it about 300 grains. That'd be perfect, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird though. They have the jacket that just extends in that boat tail, but without the lead filling up the last, I don't know, 2 millimeters of it or something.
Well, look at it this way. It'll catch a lot of gas,
Yeah.
I guess.
I love Taco. He comes up with the most obscure stuff that you've ever seen in your life and knows everything about it. And it dropped yesterday.
No, it's kind of been around a little bit. There's one. I think there's only one barrel maker right now. It's CAC. They make the barrels for it.
Yeah.
Now, is it small frame or large frame?
It's. What do you mean?
AR-10, AR-15.
Oh, it's just a 7.62 by 39 that is necked up to like 9.3 ish.
Yep.
Okay.
So this
it's
bullet,
pretty popular. I mean, overseas. So
yeah. It's kind of like the new and improved 300 Blackout. It's just got more oomph to it. You on the subsonic end, you can do heavier bullets, and on the supersonic, you just got more case capacity. So
yeah.
Yeah, that
We had a couple of cartridges get introduced at Sammy a couple of days ago. The 300 Hammer is one of them.
Huh. I'm surprised that got approved sooner than like the 277 Wolverine though.
Right, yeah. And then 458, I believe, was another one, and there's a new 6.8 also, the military 6.8.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if the Hammer guys like threw a bunch of that at the Sammy.
They had to. Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I got a reloading die coming. It's the sizing die, and I've got some 7.62 by 39 brass. coming from Starline, so I should be having some videos about that. But I really need to get some bullets, so I need to have Al cut me a mold and get some casting. I think it should be perfect for casting, though, because it's a larger diameter bullet, and and heavy, and moving relatively slow for a rifle cartridge. So it kind of ticks all the boxes for ideal cast bullet cartridge.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how my next groups are going to do. Let me show y'all these that I got loaded up for my 358 Eagle. This is some bullets I got from Cranky. Don't those look good? Cranky, you still out there? I think
What color are those?
That is that's kind of a dark gray, bluish kind of.
No, I'm obsessed with colors.
Greenish, maybe. It looks blue on the camera, but I think it's more green than anything else. That's about 160 grain, I think. And then this bullet, y'all are all very familiar with. This is same one Tim has as well. This is the Lee C358-200 RF round flat. And Kenny, if you can see that bulge where the bullet starts.
Yeah.
Taco and I were talking the other night about the same thing me and you were talking about the Lee factory crimp die being a roll crimp, and that needs to be taper crimped.
Yeah, there is collets that squeeze, but where it squeezes, they squeeze like pretty high. So basically, you have it set up to where it squeezes at like maximum SAMI cartridge, so 1.710. The two ways to get around that is for one, you shave down that die, that way your cartridge is up higher before it actually crimps, or you put it upside down into the feed it upside down into the collet die the top, and then squeeze it.
How do you get it to squeeze?
The ram. You got to set up. So for one, the collet, you got to set up the thing to have 25 pounds of pressure is what it says in their manual. So you set up your ram to where it touches the collet. Let me see if I have it on me. Yeah, I mean you can see it, just a little floating thing right here. Get it to where it touches this on your ram and pushes up, and it'll close the collets.
Yeah, okay.
As he grabs his turret.
Yeah, so basically what you're doing, what I ended up doing was getting like a piece of PVC pipe, or there's something, you make a little jig where it puts the overall length exactly where you need to be, and you drop the cartridge on top like that, and then you raise the ram up and it squeezes it. It does something called a stab crimp, which is, if you're feeding with a semi-automatic, that will help out.
Hey Kenny, what'd you do to that piece of brass?
Oh, this is my DIY comparator, bullet comparator.
I thought you just like split the neck, like totally blew it out or something. It looks pretty bad
This is a little trick from James Pollard. So I get my max overall case length. Yeah, I don't know. I had a lot of heat using the bullet comparator. The one that you can buy from Hornady. It's not accurate. No matter what people say, you're going to get deviations because you're not accounting for the slop that cartridge is. It's size of SAMI spec. So if you want exact measurements, your max case to ogive, you're going to have to make a tool like this, or fire form a case and then size the or get the bottom of the case threaded for that comparator. But yeah, that's off topic. Yes.
Oh, another thing I was going to ask. So I haven't actually loaded for the 350 Legend, but I noticed that it looks like you're seating the bullets to the crimp groove on those bullets,
FTF.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Are you? is that not desirable because it headspace is off the case mouth? Because if you crimp it onto that crimp groove, you're going to be, bending the mouth inwards and have this similar issues as if you like over crimped on a bullet. I don't know, Kenny, you have more experience with that. What do you think?
Honestly, I would just not even crimp at all. I don't have a problem with that cartridge, have a bullet setback or anything. If you bell the case, then yeah, I set up the collet crimp die to just kind of bring the bell back, but necessarily I don't crimp for that cartridge. I don't see a need for it.
Yeah.
I tested it too. I had it jam quite a bit when I had bag feeding issues. It was jamming right into the what do you call it, the barrel itself, and it didn't set the bullet back at all.
Yeah, I would think if anything, if you had like, well, I don't know. I think if you had like, if the bullet didn't have enough neck tension, then it would probably, once it goes chambers, the bullet would come out a little bit and just kind of slam into the lands or something.
And that's the thing about the lead dies. That, I mean, there's size to where there's size to where they want to have a 355 bullet. So you're putting a 357 or 358 bullet. You got over 4,000 or 5,000 of neck tension. It's way more than needed. It's gonna hold that bullet in there.
The other thing you can do if you want to like have your, like, I guess more exact neck tension is you can use like a Lyman M die expander.
Yeah.
Or one of the NOE inserts, and you just get the right one. So you make sure you have the was it 3,000 neck tension or whatever, and you can easily set that with the different expanders.
Yeah, that's what I recommend. The NOE inserts they're just affordable, and
you can just throw them in the Lee Universal seating die or expander dies.
Right.
Yeah. And they work pretty good. But yeah, so anyways, I would, me not having reloaded for it, I would say to not necessarily seat it to that crimp groove, but seat it to one of the flat parts of the bullets or one of the driving bands or something, and then just iron out the flare you have, but don't crimp any more than that.
Right.
Yeah, I see your point. I do. And yeah, we should have had a taper crimp die for the 350 Legend. But I like Kenny's idea about turning it over. But with a cast lead bullet, you've got to flare that case so you're not shaving the lead, and that's the thing. You got to get that bell out, or it's not going to change. Not going to change.
Yeah.
So while we got a second here, we're getting toward the top of the hour. Scotsman, you want to tell us about what's going on with Mr. Holster?
Sure, man. Thank you. So next leg for Mr. Holster's up. If you guys haven't seen that video, please do check it out. But we have a Beretta 92 FS up for grabs and a Rossi double barrel shotgun. And then I've thrown in a couple of magazines that were used in combat.
So I think, didn't Jesse B say his favorite was a Beretta a while ago?
Yep.
I think
yep. And you all know that when I carry a semi-auto, I'm carrying my Beretta M93. So
yeah.
I've never shot a Beretta pistol.
Shame on you.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Now, when I tell you guys that I'm still new, it's a lot that I haven't done.
Yeah, you got a lot of things we got to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got to come to Dead Zero. Our preliminary working date, by the way, is, we just said that, didn't we?
Yeah.
April 18th and 19th.
18th and 19th, yep. And then a big thank you to Hidden Hybrid Holsters. They threw in a whole package deal for us as well. $160 package. And then Tac Pack threw in a box as well. So thanks to them as well for helping out. So we'll get that going. And once we hit $6,000, we will give away all of that stuff. It'll be 4 different giveaways, all in the one night. And then after that, I know Hornet Fixer has something coming up. And then I think after that, I'm probably going to do an AR build, 7.62 by 39, because he does love the AK round as well. And so I think I'm going to do a 7.62 by 39, probably a pistol build. And we'll give that away as well at some point.
This Rossi double barrel, is this a stage gun?
I believe so.
Oh, man. I need me one of those.
So remember, it's real simple, guys. $10 an entry. Shoot me a copy of your entry, and that'll get you going.
But I must confess, I never win guns. Right, Taco?
Yeah, you got lucky on that one. That was great.
I worked hard for that rifle, man. I made that video in August, September. That's some hard work in Georgia.
Oh, nice, nice.
And that's actually a beautiful rifle to shoot.
I need to like, I guess, do one of my lost and found videos, because they deleted my Taco Apocalypse video, and so I want to have that available, because it's kind of cool, you know, doing the whole process from start to finish with like casting and lubing and all that stuff, reloading the ammo without using any electricity or propane. That was, I was surprised at like all the responses from everybody else and the innovation that they had. That one guy made the toolbox powder coating oven. That was freaking amazing.
That was killer.
Hey, Jamie, can you do me a favor?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you zoom in on Taco?
Yeah.
Are you reading the stuff in the background? Is that what you're doing?
Dude, I'm like, this is like the Pinterest dream. Look at how organized you are.
That's my
impressive
wife's
for
side.
a man and a reload. Oh,
I was gonna say,
just
no,
went with
he's
it.
not.
Yeah,
You
no,
should have just went with
that's all that stuff is my wife's side, so my side is hidden from the camera.
I was like, oh,
But-
that's impressive. I should be shamed, but I take it back. Okay, zoom off of it. I'm not impressed anymore.
They both have their own little human cave. It's
Yeah,
not a cave or a woman cave, it's a human cave.
yeah, it's kind of it was our idea to spend time together doing different things, you know. I could make ammo while she's painting these signs and stuff, and that way we could still have conversations and whatnot. So that was the idea.
Well, tell your wife her side's impressive.
Yeah, she's actually so I've not been doing like the Instagram very long, but she's got like way more followers than I do by doing like her art stuff. But I told her she should do videos of her doing like making her signs and hand painting everything and stuff. But
No, she'll give away her trades. She can't do that.
oh,
What do you mean, Emperor? What do you mean? Do I have a coach? I was a coach. I coached baseball for 12 years and basketball for probably 10 or 12 years. I never liked basketball that much as a player, but is Preacher leaving us? Good night, man.
Good night, Preacher.
So I studied basketball because I didn't know that much about it, and I wanted to learn and wanted to do good for my kids. So I studied up on it, and then apparently I did fairly well because we never lost more than 2 games in a season. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but we have
he was talking about
that has a lot of questions.
PC Bullet Empire was talking about Coach Gunn.
Yeah. I want a coach gun. Yes, I need to. Something that fascinates me is, and something I think I'd be fairly good at is cowboy action shooting because that's my mainstream. So
Do you have
go
a
ahead,
video?
huh?
Do you have a video?
Of cowboy action shooting,
Yeah, of you doing it.
I don't have the stuff to do it with. You got to have
Uh,
2 single action revolvers, a lever action rifle in the same caliber, and the shotgun. And it can be either a double barrel stage gun or the antique lever action shotguns. You remember those? No,
mhm,
you've seen them though, right?
mhm.
Okay. Uh, let me see. Do you remember your questions, Sharinda?
Yeah, because they're on my phone. The one thing I didn't do was save them to my watch.
Okay, let me tell you this before you ask the first question. Kenny had a video just the other day out on some awesome rounds in line with your first question. So go ahead. He's the man that can answer.
All right, so Jamie put me on the spot and asked me what the topic was, and I didn't have a topic, so I'm cheating and have my own questions. And I'm getting ready to do some digging around on powder coated rifle rounds. I had several questions. One, how accurate are they just for plinking? Are there benefits and are there downsides?
Yes to all of those. There's benefits and downsides. And you can do it accurately, but not necessarily in each cartridge, if
Okay,
that makes sense.
it does.
So I was going to say something, but Kenny's last video kind of just contradicted like everything I would probably say. But as a general rule of thumb, cast bullets do well when they're not long and skinny, like the long 6.5 cartridges, and when you're shooting them at lower velocities, they do better. You can shoot them at high velocity, but there's a lot of little tricks you have to do, and heat treating your bullets, and or like Kenny's done in a couple of videos where you paper patch or other things. But for example, like 300 Blackout, that is like one of the like best cartridges for coated cast bullets, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think definitely Taco hit it nail on the head. When you get a long, skinny cartridge, a lot of the cast bullets, and this is what I'm seeing, they have what they call the bearing surface is in the rear. That cast bullet is actually designed to be sized in two steps. Basically, you size the nose to the bore, because that's what you call these things. I call them a bore rider. So you size the nose of it, and then the back of it is sized to your basically your overall groove diameter is 2,000 over. So when you start pushing pressures on a long skinny bullet, what will happen is something called permanent deformation, and it causes the bullet to kind of deform in the air and you lose stability. So when you stick with a regular bullet design, it's kind of just stubby. Like this one is specifically designed for the 30 cal. You could, on a rifle cartridge, you could kind of handle higher pressures, and then the thing you probably read about later on is it's called obturation, which is basically matching the pressures to the tensile strength of the alloy. Basically, if you stick with an 18 BHM, which is just wheel weights, water quench your wheel weights, cast them and gas check them, and stick at 2,000 FPS on your rifle cartridge, you should be able to find a good accuracy spot. You'll find a good, it's good for plinking. You're going to save ammo. I went out. I somehow got lucky with the 308. It works out to 500 yards, and I'm pushing it pretty fast. That's just my luck and me and messing around with it. But 223, if you're looking for something within 50 yards, you can do cast lead bullets. Don't expect really good groups, but you'll plink steel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then if you take some of the fat bullets, cartridges, like say the 4570, those aren't really high velocity cartridges, but you can still shoot them long distance, but you're kind of just lobbing the lead like a rainbow, but you can do it consistently. And so accuracy wise, yeah, you can hit targets out, pretty far just lobbing them, but you gotta have a way to adjust your sights or something to account for such a large rainbow, I guess.
Yeah, I think
I know you guys probably don't. I never know with you guys, but I was just curious if anybody else out there on the side chat, are you guys making 12 gauge slugs, casting them?
Hold on 1 second before we start answering that. I got something in response to that first question. I did a series of 35 Remington, and I'm still really working on it. I'll never quit. Kyle was with me when I shot these. I want y'all to see. This is my best group with 35 Remington. And that's at 25 yards. And that's the 200 grain Lee bullet, 3.5 size to 3.58 with 38.5 grains of Western Ramshot tack. Who would have thought tack would shoot well in a 35 Remington? So can you make good and accurate cast lead? They work really good in my 30-30 and my 35. And obviously Kenny was shooting sub MOA groups at 500 yards with his. So yeah, I agree with what the other guy said. And some cartridges, yeah, but James Pollard, I think he has good luck with his 223 cast bullets, but everybody else, particularly with that one Lee mold, is cussing that thing. So on to your next question. James Pollard does the 1 ounce slug. I'm assuming that's for 12 gauge.
Yeah, for 12.
James? Yes, sir, Mr. Emperor. That's one of the best molds I ever bought. Mine's a 2-cavity mold, and you can ask Kyle. That thing will work. That mold just works beautifully.
I don't know if Tim's talking about the same mold that you are. He may be talking about that 308 mold. Because I really got tired of sending him lead. I just sent him a mold.
Yeah, he's talking about. I'm almost sure that he's talking about the same bullet I showed y'all in my 358 Eagle. Is it okay to call it that, Kenny, or we're gonna get in trouble?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, there ain't no trademark going after me yet. So I looked it up online, and there ain't no trademark on it.
Andy, me and Kyle's come up with an idea of having our molds, having the lube grooves machined out of them. That would put it up to about 62 to 65 grains, I'm guessing.
Well, I'm gonna take my 223 Lee mold, the 55 grain, and I'm gonna take one hole and bore it down. I've already talked to the guy. I just got to get over to his house, but he lives in Yorkville, which none of y'all know where that is. I got to get over there, and we're going to use his milling machine, and we're going to put a point on that thing and see if it shoots any better. I figure it'll probably be 68 to 72 grains at that point. If you make a, but he said bring the mold to me because we're going to have to do some measuring and see if there's enough aluminum to make a nice point, or do we have to just go, you know? So I don't know what he's wanting to do there, but he said, yeah, I know exactly what you want to do, and yeah, I can do it. We just got to get together. Would you stop?
George boy, I've run that bullet gas checked and ungas checked, and honestly, I would have to test them in the exact same load to be able to tell you if there's a difference. But it seems to me that a bullet designed for a gas check would shoot better with a gas check on it. And James tells me all the time, the only purpose a gas check serves is to keep the gas from cutting the lead. But Andy does some good work up there in New York.
One of the things I always do, and it's just kind of just what I do, is that, when you have a plain base bullet, then you can make sure that the base of the bullet is nice and squared up and everything. Even after you powder coat it, then you can, when you're pushing it through the sizer, it squares it up nice. When I have gas check molds, I always put a gas check on the bullets, especially if it might seem weird, but especially if I'm powder coating, because if you have like a little booger that's sitting there on the gas check shank, that's going to steer your bullet a little bit off.
Yeah.
And it's hard to keep that super uniform and I don't know, squared up if it's not like supported during the sizing process or whatever. So for accuracy wise, even if I'm shooting like low pressure subsonic ammo, I always throw a gas check on the bullet if it has a gas check shank. But I know other people don't do that, but that's just what I've found.
Okay, so for the newbie here, can you guys explain to me what gas check is?
Yeah. So a gas check is like this little, it's a little copper cup like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was getting visuals.
Everybody pulls them up. And basically what you do, I guess I have it on here. So the gas
Can you
check.
zoom in on Taco, Jamie, or one of your pictures so I can see that on there? Thank you.
So a gas check is just a copper cup that sits on the base of the bullet, and that protects the bullet base from getting gas cutting and stuff like that. So it allows you to, like, generally speaking, it allows you to shoot the bullets at higher velocities and pressures. But
Taco, what bullet is that?
this is the Lee 440. It's the 500 mag 440 grain.
Oh, okay. Jamie, look at this. Looks like the exact same bullet. See, I'll even put a gas check on the base of it. It's just a different color. These are the Taco mold 280 grain 44 magnums.
Okay, we've got a lot of good comments that running out there, but before we get to those, and I'm backing up, so y'all have to bear with me. We ain't got Chico with us.
Take it off me, Jamie, please.
Well, don't be picking your nose, Kyle. Does anybody
my nose?
does anybody molly coat?
No. I'm doing something different. It's HBN coating. I've actually been testing that lately.
What is that?
Hex boron nitride. That's what we use on the tooling. Super slick. It's boron nitride. I don't know what I'm saying. It's like a really fine powder. You get that on your bullets, and it's like lube, man. It falls right out of your hands.
But it's just like just a dry powder you put on to lube it.
Yeah, this is really dry powder. Using stainless steel balls, or you can use BBs. Throw like a teaspoon in that and shake up with your bullets in there. It coats this bullet, and you can barely see it. It's like a little faint white hue to your bullets, but it's super slick. It's supposed to keep your fouling down and give your cold bore shots the same velocity as your warmed up shots. And I'm noticing a kind of a difference on it. There is a difference, definitely.
Yeah. There's a couple comments about Starline brass and on the, in the comments. And man, I have had like the best luck with Starline brass. Like with all my cowboy stuff, like the 44 mag, 500 mag, 45 Colt, 357. Man, they make good stuff and consistent.
Well, the problem you got to run into is you don't know if the truck that brought that from Starline to the in store, or the guy that brought it from the warehouse and put it on the shelf didn't drop it and ding something. I always size it, but I will tell you this: Starline goes in and out like butter. No problem. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, I also do the same thing. New brass, I run it through the sizer.
Yeah, I do. I'm dealing with this brand new Starline brass for the 350 Eagle thing, and it's I ran it through the sizer, flared it. I just do. And
is my dog bothering y'all?
What is that? What is she?
It sounds like
she's sucking on a frozen peanut butter Kong ball.
I wondered what that was.
Say that again. I gotta hear this again.
She is sucking on a frozen peanut butter Kong ball.
Your dog is sucking on Kong balls.
A frozen peanut butter Kong ball. She's trying to get the last peanut butter. That should be. I'm not even. No, man.
Well, where else can you show up on a Friday night and hear nothing but talk about Kong balls?
Peanut butter Kong balls.
Hey.
So,
Kong Company, by the way, they make Kong treats.
Okay. 762, tell me about this comment right here. You had the same results with gas check 308s. Are you saying that you had the same results with gas checked and ungas checked, or expand on that, and I'll catch up in a minute. And Andy, he says the NOE molds are not gas checked. I'm assuming that you are talking about the 223 mold you were talking about earlier, because I have an NOE mold that I won from Taco. Familiar theme here.
Same giveaway.
Yeah, Sharenta, I got a couple of NOE molds that are in 223. If you really want to try it out, I'll send you a whole batch. See what you can do with them.
I'll take them. I still got to order the melter. I'm slowly getting there.
Right.
Like,
I was gonna say 223 is like probably one of the worst cartridges to start casting for, like if you're starting to cast. But I mean, I would start with some pistol rounds and stuff, and then move on to the 223.
Well, see, I'm a hoarder. If I can catch it on sale and not know what the hell to do with it now, I'll get it and put it up so I'll have it for when I get to that point.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, there's a reason why Eagle is or Kenny's just giving you all these molds, right?
Because he already figured out they don't work for him.
Like,
well,
nah,
I got a subpart.
I
mean, my standards for accuracy on the 223 are, I guess, I don't know, higher.
Yeah,
than
I'm just plinking and 3-gunning and.
Yeah, I'll give you a formula, and it's up to you if you want to use it. Usually, 18 grains of H322 seems to work with 223. And if you want to try the bullets out, it's totally up to you. I mean, instead of buying the molds, I think that's the way to go.
I'll definitely try them out because I got to reload some more. I don't know how I've run through 2,000 rounds of 223, and it's not even been a freaking month.
Yeah, but Taco is exactly right. I mean, pistol bullets are honestly the best that you can start casting. And then if you're going to go for rifle, the first thing I would go for is 300 blackout. Definitely.
I don't have the gun yet.
You should buy one then. This is your excuse.
Right. Well,
we are all telling you.
The Jackal. You're gonna like that thing.
We're all telling you that you have permission.
Who who has 2 thumbs and think that you need to go buy a new gun? This guy.
You have, yeah, Strundy, you have an AR, right?
I do.
You just need a barrel then.
Yeah,
Well,
you just need a barrel.
I do. And Kenny, when I got to that point, I was definitely bugging you.
Gotcha. Yeah, well,
Definitely bugging you. I still got a bunch of other parts. Actually, I have a 223 AR, and I'm doing my 308 build.
right.
That's a couple of people that said that gas checks were more accurate, but with these taco bullets for the 44 Magnum, recurring. With these taco bullets, I tried gas checked, and because the bullet or the mold has 2 cavities. One has the gas check groove cut in the bottom of it. See that very bottom, very top lip, right here? That's for a gas check. One cavity has that, the other one does not. And I went to the range and I shot 20 rounds, same everything. It's okay. They're not coming through the living room. Shut up. 20 rounds each way. I didn't see any difference whatsoever, but this is a larger pistol caliber coming out of a lever gun. So I wasn't pushing them that fast. Maybe if you push them harder, maybe that has something to do with it. But even the gas check bullets with no gas check on them, I didn't see that much of a difference. It just looked like it could have just been me.
Yeah, Sharundi, you can get a 300 blackout upper and just throw it on the lower for one of your 223s. You can get those for less than $300 from Bear Creek Arsenal or Palmetto State Armory.
Yeah. I think the biggest reason why I don't cast for 223 to kind of go back is the cost. You could buy secondhand FMJs from like Shooter's Pro Shop for like 1,000 of them for like 3 or 4 cents a bullet. So
yeah, and you can push them a lot harder and faster too. Right. The jacketed bullets.
You can.
Well, Reloader 762 just said with pistol calibers, it doesn't matter so much, but rifles, it's definitely more accurate. So, okay, that answers that question.
Yeah, eventually I would like to start doing 243 too, since I have been told I'll have more hunting opportunities coming up.
Well, you need to talk to Scotsman and Georgia Boy about the 243. Scotsman is building a 243 AR, and Georgia Boy's got 243 also. And,
yeah, mine's done. I just need to get a scope for it. That's it.
Scotsman,
cool.
I'm gonna need to see this before you post it.
So we have a new listener. Y'all say hey to James.
Hi, James.
Hey, James.
James, no offense or anything. Thanks for joining us, but I'm not even going to attempt your last name. Southern boy's got to know his limitations.
Yeah, you should have Kyle try it.
All right, go for it.
Kyle, go for it.
A Vestigi?
I guess we'll never know. But I read his comment wrong when I read that last part where he said that I thought he said he was resizing the 300 blackout brass for his 2-year-old daughter. And I was like, dang, I've taken my 4-year-old shooting, but not my 2-year-old. So.
Well, we're glad to have you, James. Disposable 762.
Oh, a Veskij. I was close. I tried. I'm from Georgia.
Y'all say hey to Mr. Bacon getting ready to fly home.
Hey, Bacon.
I like what Georgia Boy told him. Wear a mask. Now, if you get bit by a tick and you get Lyme disease and then you get a cold on this plane, you may be one of the first people to suffer from corona with Lyme disease.
That was the lamest joke ever.
I know. I'm a dad. I'm a dad.
A vestige. Okay. Welcome, man. Thanks for the phonics spelling.
I'm telling you, I did my best, and I think I did pretty damn good to be from Georgia.
Yeah, you did.
I don't even think my vocal cord implant was going to even let me attempt his last name.
Oh, that was funny.
Everybody's like quiet right now.
I'm pretty excited.
It's like we don't know what to say to that. Who posted that? I think we all know who's out there working behind them.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You know, and I saw that earlier this week, and I looked at it and I was like, huh, he must have changed his name.
And you're right, Bacon. What happens in Vegas ends up on YouTube or a medical chart somewhere. I'll live there for 5 years.
Hey, so I got a question for Kenny.
Yeah.
Hey, so was there anything like, I don't know, like worth seeing at SHOT Show? I guess that's like a.
Yeah. Well, last year, I mean, I can't compare last year because I was only there for a few hours. One thing that the only two things that really stood out to me was Lyman's new bore cam, and they have a pistol sight slider tool, and then of course Frankfurt Arsenals. Other than Palmetto State Armory, they came out with their Jackal. They have a new subcompact that's going to be fairly cheap. It's like the Glock subcompact for PSA.
Like, is it? So Palmetto is doing their own like kind of Glock. Is it?
Yeah, it looks like a Glock. It's kind of. I mean, it's kind of like I don't know how you say, a Polymer 80 style.
Yeah. Glock mags, Glock parts.
Mag, yeah, just something different. It's still, I don't know. It felt, you could just tell it's $300, but you know it's going to hit the market. I could tell why they're aiming at that weight. You're going to like the Jackal though. If you get your hands on a Jackal, so they're going to offer the Jackal, which is basically it's a proprietary upper, but fits on an AR-15 that doesn't need a buffer tube or any of that. So you can make this thing really subcompact as a folding stock. The offer,
like a piston upper or something.
Yeah, the piston style. Well, it's still a bolt, but yeah, I couldn't really tell the upper assembly. It has the MP5 style charging handle and piston assembly. It was like, yeah, and it bolts right onto your AR-15. So they're going to offer it as a complete rifle package, but then eventually, I think around June is what they said, they're going to buy, or you're going to be able to get it as just an upper. So that's going to be badass. And then the CZ, that's the one I picked that thing up, and this thing is just solid. I tried moving the slide. You can't even tell the slide moves. But then you slide it back, it's just butter.
So was that just a 10mm handgun, all metal, or was it polymer metal? Or
no, it was completely all metal. It has LOK grips. You know, it has their own custom accent. Has red highlights on it. Everything's hand fitted. I did an interview with the guy. MSRP, I think he said was like $1,380, but they're looking at street price around $1,100.
Well, 1,100 isn't like horrible, especially if it's a nice CZ. Yeah. So is it similar to their 97, like the 45?
Yes, it's a 97, exactly, based off the 97 45 ACP platform. Just stepped up to 10 mil.
Man, I love my 97. I think that's my favorite 45 ACP.
I'm saving my money for that thing. I think that's gonna be my next purchase, honestly. I shot that at range day too, and I think it was phenomenal.
So my 97 is like smooth as butter. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Okay, so Lakeview Outdoors asking about the SIG cross bolt. I hate to talk bad about certain things because I have my own opinion, so take my opinion as a grain of salt. It's a cool platform. I really do not like how heavy the bolt lift is. It's just a horrible bolt lift. It's a weird feeling.
Is it cock on open?
Yeah, cock on open. It's a really hard bolt lift. So if you're out there prone, I mean, I can see having to be behind the rifle. You actually got to put your hand up on the rifle and use unless you really slam it up hard. That's the way to do it. Is really slam your hand.
You take a 5/8 wrench, put it over the bolt handle, and then
I don't know. I look at the price point of those things, and I'm like, I could build a hell of a lot better rifle for a fraction of the cost. And that's why I was looking at MTT's chassis, the new XRS chassis that came out. That kind of hit the market over here. It's a polymer or a molded over aluminum stock chassis. That's like $399. So.
So Loads of Bacon was just saying the PSA pistol is basically a remade Gen 3 Glock.
Yes, yeah.
Does it have the finger grooves?
I picked it up. I'm trying to remember.
Wow, I didn't leave that much of an impression.
No. People they're vulturing over this thing, and I'm like, I was more on the PSA and the AKB that he had. It didn't really impress me that much. Typical polymer pistol. Oh, Mean Arms is coming out with a complete proprietary lower and upper. They have a delayed roller action 9mm upper they're coming out with. So that's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah, it doesn't use locking lugs. It uses like the bearings. You lock into this like bearing groove.
And you said that's a handgun?
It's a SBR.
Oh, a carbine, like a
yeah. So they're coming out with their lower that has. It's going to be I think $90. It's a polymer lower, but it has steel inserts on the buffer tube where the takedown pins are. But it has your mag release is ambidextrous. Everything's ambidextrous on there. So it's pretty unique, pretty unique. And then they have their upper that's coming out, which is going to be pretty high end. They said $1,000 for that, but it's delayed roll back. 9mm upper and everything.
So James just barely said that there's no finger grooves. So that's, I guess, 2 thumbs up for taking those out.
All right.
Georgia boy still got a Gen 3 in the box. Scotsman said, nice paperweight. Earlier we had a question, and I guess Taco would be the Taco or Kenny, either one. Somebody's looking for a mold in 264 caliber. Here it is, Paul Harbu.
I haven't tried any, so I got no comment there.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is that if you're going to cast for like a 6.5 or something, if you're planning on coating the bullet like high tech or powder coat, do not get one that has a bore writing section. And most of them that are made for the military rifles do have that. And it's kind of like, seems like it's almost necessary for those long, skinny bullets to have that. And so I have actually bought a bunch of molds just in case NOE ever like went out of business. I would have those for the future for when I'm old and I want to like do some casting for my old mill serps and I don't know, and do non-powder coated or non-coated bullets. So yeah.
I would say the 30 XTB bullet that NOE offers is probably the best bullet design for high velocity.
Yep.
But that's a 30 cal. So I was hoping that one day, they'll come out with like a 284 or 264. The trick to getting the 264 from what I'm reading, if you want to dedicate a lead shooter, 6.5 Creedmoor, you have to have a slow twist rate, 1 in 12. And then Trail Boss seems to be the king of that cast from what I was reading.
Yeah, well, you have this huge case, right, for all this powder, but you can't not going to try and push those long, skinny bullets that fast, like it's over 2,500 feet per second or so,
Right.
without doing some crazy stuff. But there's probably people who have done it and done it successfully, but it's not easy.
Yeah.
Good night, OCD. Be careful out there on the road, brother.
So Reloader 762 says he has the 30XCB bullet, and he shoots it in his 30-06.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Can you fill me in?
The XCB bullet.
Yeah,
Here, I got one.
So there were a bunch of guys on the Cast Bullets forums, and they actually designed a cartridge and a bullet for that cartridge to shoot at higher velocities. And so like a slower twist, and the way they designed like the throat and the neck, shoulder, all that stuff. But it turned out that 30 XCB bullet actually shoots well in a lot of different 30 caliber cartridges, like 308, 30-06.
Yeah. It's very similar to the 7.62, the Lee, was it the 2R, 312 2R? It's kind of similar to that. I don't know, it's kind of blurry. But gas check design, it's got very shallow grooves. Just a very stable cartridge. As you can tell, it has a lot of bearing surface. The ogive actually starts right here. So you have all over the base of the bullet. And that's the trick about getting these cast lead bullets to shoot accurate. Cast them hard, gas check them. Preferably lube seems to work better than powder coating, but people are getting accuracy with both. I just see more people getting better results with lube. But this bullet, like I said, I had the honor to sit down with Larry Gibson. He has the 30 XCB cartridge, or the 3060, whatever you want to call that thing, and he's pushing that thing to 2,900 FPS consistently. It's sub MOA.
See, and that's awesome. Like that's pretty sweet that he's pushing it that fast. You normally don't push cast bullets that fast.
I need to get that mold.
But you'd have to use traditional lube because it has that bore writing section. And so if you coat it, then that bore writer section, it will be too thick, and so it'll start jamming into your lands and rifling and stuff.
Right.
So it'll mess up the throat of the rifle.
Well, you won't
no,
be able to see them. You'll just see them too far deep.
Yeah, so it would probably just push the bullet into the case, and then you'd have an overpressure situation. But
which would mess up the throat of the rifle.
Mess up the whole action of the rifle.
Yeah.
But does everybody know what the bore, like a bore writer section is, or like a bore writer bullet?
I don't.
Yeah, that's a good topic, Taco. Honestly.
Yeah. So I'm trying to.
Here, I got a bullet too. Man. There we are.
I've heard y'all say that, but I've never really understood.
It's kind of a made up term that has actually taken place in mainstream, and now it makes sense to a lot of people.
Well, it's been published. Bullets back in the day, bore riders. It's been published since like the 1920s on cast bullets.
What it is like, say your bore is like so you have a 308, and then the bore is like a .301 or 300, and so the idea is to have the bullet on the nose have the section that sits in there already.
Yeah, there you go. So this is actually James Pollard's 6mm 260, 263, whatever, the 6mm bullet. And this section right here, I'll get my fat fingers out the way. From here to here, you want to size that to the bore, exactly what Taco said. So if you got let's go with the 65 Creamer, you got a 264 groove or 265 groove, and your bore is like a 261. You have NOE that makes a special tool that will size just the nose of this bullet to 261. then you punch it back out, and then you size the rest, which would be your riding area. This is from here to here. I don't know if you can see it, but from here to here is basically your bearing surface. You're going to have your loop grooves and your gas check. That right there, you size at 265. So you got two sizing methods. And what Taco said exactly, the bullet situates concentric in the bore, and then as it gets fired, it's supposed to give it a kind of better stability, a better bite to the groove and lands without it deforming.
It keeps it from deforming the entire bullet and building up a pressure curve and all that you really can't make consistent.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what it is these things are just super soft. It's like trying to push an egg down a cannon. You know, you're trying to get this thing situated straight so you're not cocking it inside the or having a free free space for the bullet to jam and then deforming the bullet. You're gonna lose accuracy. So what folks are finding on a bore rider is when you size it that way, which you're supposed to for a bullet designed this way, you're going to get better accuracy on the rifle.
So a friend of mine just built he built a 223 Wild, and he took it out to shoot it for the first time, and he made the cardinal mistake. He grabbed the magazine full of 300 Blackout. And about 5 inches from the crown of the barrel, it Bugs Bunnied on him. It looked like Bugs Bunny just stuck his finger in the barrel. And that's what happens when you don't pay attention to what you're doing. There's another safety tip for today.
All right. So I just printed out one of the NOE bullet designs, and I can show what.
There you go.
All right. So you see this section from here to there. Oops. Let's see. From here to here. That section is sized just for the barrel, the bore, and this one is 302, but it's designed to just rest in there, slightly, just ever so slightly engrave, but that supports the bullet as it's going through. But if you increase that thickness, it'll just, when you're trying to seat the cartridge into trying to chamber a cartridge, it'll push that bullet back into the case. So, but that's what a bore rider bullet is. When they have that section of the nose that's sized for the bore.
Yeah.
So does that requiring two dies, two different sizing dies?
Well, normally what you do is you shoot them as cast, and you don't really size the nose. Sizing the nose is really tricky to do. I don't know if Kenny, have you done that?
Yeah, I've done it. I'm trying to get the tool out right now. The NOE tool is the only one that I know of that has that little punch where you tap it down. So
yeah.
You size it and then you tap it back down.
And the thing is about that tool is it doesn't have a set stop. So you have to just do it to either the look or feel so that you don't go too far. And when I've used mine on powder coated bullets for my 338 Spectre, then I put a slight bevel on that on the mouth of the bushing, and so I just had to be real careful where I watch my stop. But you're not going to be super accurate if you are not consistent on where you stop. But
right now, where's that sizing die at? Damn it. Oh, here it is. Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, NOE has their sizing tool. So here, you got your bushing, whatever it is, and then your cartridge guide situates in there like that, and you have this little tool, and all it really is just something to smack or punch it back down. So as you push the bullet up into the sizing die, goes up, you get to the nose. You basically got to set your ramp or the die up, and it'll size just the nose.
You got to pull that top thing out.
Yeah, I got to pull this top thing out. Sorry. And then, yeah, so you could have the nose punch or whatever as a guide. This will be in there. So you'll go up, you size the nose, then you get a hammer and you push it back down. And that will size just that little area. So you got to situate your die to where it sizes just that little area.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's no way to set the stop, like where to stop sizing. That's
exactly. There's no way to set the stop, so you got to really pay attention. And NOE has these sizers. They're B as in body, a body die. That's going to be your push through sizing die. Then you have N, which is your nose sizing die. It's a different taper, and that's what is the N is dictated for the bore rider bullets. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Taco.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I've done a few. I mean, I've seen improvements, but again, it's a tedious process, and I'm just like.
So would you say it's worth the extra process?
It's not, man. I
mean, you're better off getting. I mean, either doing traditional lube and shooting them that way, or just get a different nose profile or a different bullet mold with a nose profile without a bore riding section that you can coat.
Yeah, I'm to the conclusion that if you're really trying to aim for accuracy and long distance on a cast lead bullet, you're going to spend a lot of time, effort, and money trying to get a cast lead bullet to do that when you should probably look at swaging, make your own jackets.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or when you go into all that, if you put in your time and effort and put a price tag on that, just buy a box of bullets and work a load up for it.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking the whole time y'all were talking about this. I'm like,
you can find various different sales all the time on bullets. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Every now and then you find a 500 round pack on a good deal, and that'll last you a while on long range rifle bullets.
And you know what I was disappointed about this week? Nobody really had SHOT Show coupon sales for bullets.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, if you're going to cast for rifle and you want accuracy, I think the 458 SOCOM, 350 Legend, it's up there. You got the 357 Raptor I'm looking into, 45 Raptor, 358 Yeti. I mean, any of those big bore calibers are going to work good for cast lead, and you'll still be able to get accuracy.
Yeah, and you can get, it's almost easier to make those, factory second jacketed bullets shoot better than long distance, trying to shoot lead long distance.
Right.
But
and I've seen a bunch of pulled bullets that are super cheap as well.
Yeah,
and they're not bad. I mean, obviously you're gonna have some that probably will be marred up a little bit, but you just gotta sort through just like anything else. It's like if you were sorting through your brass, make sure there's no issues before you load them up.
But I mean, we're not saying you can't do it, because you can't. There are guys who are shooting cast lead bullets at distance accurately. It's just harder and takes a lot of time and effort.
Exactly.
So, hey, Kenny, quick question for you again. Paper patching, have you pretty much given up on that? Are you still going to do that, or what's the...
I am still going to do that, and the reason why I kind of held back is I came out of my research. I found out that in order for the paper patching to work the way it needs to, I need to have a very slow twist barrel or a game twist. So I'm looking at probably getting a 1 in 16 30 cal bullet and 30-06, and see if that will work. So that seems to be the ticket to it as far as cast lead, paper patch, high velocity. The 1 in 16 twist is the key to it.
Let's see. Can you see this, Kenny?
I see a mold.
It's a 301 135 SP.
Oh gosh, are you kidding me? Did he make a run on that?
So he actually did a run. They're not listed in the store yet. But I asked him to do me a favor and cut off the last, I guess it was the last band on it.
Yeah.
And to make it into a lighter weight bullet. So just by cutting off the last band, it went from 170 something to like 135. And so
that thing's been out of stock since I even began casting bullets.
Yeah. And he finally did it. And so he actually did a run of these, like a few of them cut short. So I was thinking,
is that for 300 blackout?
Nah, it's a .301. So it's not going to work in like any 30 cals unless you paper patch it, or if you have an old Carcano.
Yeah.
The 30 cal Carcano uses like a 301 or 302 bullet. And so I have an old one I picked up. It's kind of junky, like sporterized and stuff, but I've wanted to shoot it. But I've had it for a couple of years without even ever finding bullets for it. And so now I can cast my own. So, or that's what I plan on using this for. But,
man, you're lucky. Yeah, I got to call Al up and see if he'll be able to sell me one.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good deals, man, when you can get them.
Yeah. I'll try it again. Maybe, I just proved my own self with the 308. Maybe I'm wrong with the twist and getting it to work. I was getting okay accuracy with a very heavyweight bullet, but that was kicking the crap out of me.
Well, back when you were doing that, you were using didn't it have like a skinny barrel and like a lightweight stock?
Yeah, it's my Mossberg. And no muzzle brake, straight up 220 grain cast bullet and the 30-06.
Yeah. Hey, you should give Al a call and see. Now, would you want one of these lighter weight ones or the heavy?
Yeah, dude. I'll try it. I'll try a lighter one because then that way I can run them fast and just kind of disprove a couple things I'm thinking of.
I was wondering it's kind of like it might be usable in your SKS.
Yeah.
If you're, I'm curious if you try it in your SKS, if you paper patch your SKS, like how well it'll shoot.
Okay.
You guys know I just had to Google paper patch, right?
Did shooter, shooter come and play?
Yeah.
We're coming up on the time, so Surrender, if you got another question for these guys, it's now or never.
Nope, I'm gonna save it. I can't give you all my questions at one time.
Oh,
why not?
You'll have more.
Give you guys reasons to come back.
Well, see, the thing about that is go ahead and ask them because it don't matter. The deeper you go down the rabbit hole, the more questions.
You're going to have way more questions.
Yeah. And I actually don't have any more right now. I got to absorb what I wrote down. Yes, I write down the notes instead of going back and looking at the videos. And then I'll have more.
Yeah, one thing I was going to say, if you have questions, you should hop on the Discord channel. And there's usually a bunch of guys who are helpful who can answer your questions.
Already there.
Go do
All right.
Check out the Old Porch Dogs channel.
I do.
Those guys will hook you up. Taco and Kenny were on there this morning, as a matter of fact. And hopefully y'all be seeing me on there a little bit more because I found it on my work computer and got it bookmarked. So I do have to produce a certain amount of work at work, but I can't go over there and check in, stay 5 or 10 minutes and come back a couple hours later. So, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining. I want to thank all of our guests tonight. This is generally where my man Chico would go down the chat list, but I know my limitations, and I'm not going to try that. We'll save it. So if we're here for any length of time tonight at all, we thank you so much. But we were over 60 for a little while there this evening. We want to really thank Kenny and Mr. Taco for joining us. It's always a pleasure to have Sharonda and Mr. Scotsman, and the rest of y'all are just stuck with me and Kyle. So it's always good to
good job.
check in with y'all. So we'll start going through the room, and
hang on. Can I play Chico for a minute?
Yeah, you can play Chico for a minute.
Yeah, guys, check it out. You know, we're real glad everybody showed up. We got Uncle John, we got Jerry, we got Reloaded 76 too, we got Led 8541, got Cranky, we got Eagle Eye who's in the house, we got Surrender who's in the house, we got John's Hand Reloading, Jesse B, as always, 6-shooter Texan, John Phaser, who just went to bed. Good night, brother. We got Jerry 1911 I'm gonna quit.
You're doing so well.
You were on a roll and then you screwed it up.
I know. That's why I quit. Miss you, Chico.
Oh, James asked who was the thumbs down guy, and I forgot who you said that was. That pops in on everybody's and does a thumbs down, so that you know he visited.
So the way you know you had an awesome chat is if you have one thumbs down. then you know that Pop's Quest watched your video.
I remembered that from writing the notes down.
Yeah, see, he was live earlier today, and I made a couple of comments, and he actually referred somebody's question to me. I was like, "Get out of town!" Yeah, got somebody, and we saw this earlier tonight. Let me hit on this real quick, and y'all can chime in. Somebody earlier on his chat and on our chat was saying, I just can't seem to make myself get started. You know, Kingpin, right, Scotsman?
Mm-hmm.
Look, you can get started reloading for about what it would cost you to getting started for what it would cost a few boxes of factory ammo. You can get one of these Lee classic cast turret press for just the press for $120. Find yourself a scale, set of dies. I mean, you can be reloading for $200.
Or just a single stage press, but the first step is start saving your brass when you shoot. That'll save you a lot. Save your brass when you shoot. I don't care if you reload or not. Just pick it back up. You know, first of all, you're being a clean shooter, and second of all, now you got something to reload if you decide to do it. You can pick up a single stage Lee press for what, $30, $40?
Yeah, one of those smaller ones, but you really need at least the Challenger, and you can get those for brand new $60, $75.
Yeah.
But the thing about the classic turret press is you can evolve into your next step. And George Boy says a Lee loader and a hammer. Yeah.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah.
But if you get that good single stage like Kyle's talking about, even if you buy a Dillon tomorrow, that money's not wasted because you
always use my single stage all the time. All the time. You still got to pull the handle no matter what you're doing. So I have my single stage set up. It's my decapping press. It works great, and I use it for other things a lot. Actually, I've got a Dillon 550 that I use for a lot of years, but I use my Lee 4-hole turret press more than I do the 550.
No, see, I started with a Lee classic turret.
But when I do fire up the Dillon, she makes some ammo. You know, I use it for all my large primer stuff. So I'll run like 1,045s or something like that at one time. But then the next day I'm hand loading some 44 Magnums on the Lee turret press. You know, and I don't even use it as a turret press. I use it as a single stage press. So I don't have to change dies and all that stuff. But I use the crap out of that Lee turret press.
Yeah, guys, and you got to remember, buy the Lee dies, so when the EMP hits, you can measure your powder.
Yeah.
I actually have some of those.
Now the scoops are cool. The scoops are cool, but you still have to play with them because even though it says it'll dispense 4.3 grains, it's not. It's either 4.1 or 5.3. I mean, I don't know.
So,
Yeah,
Bacon, are you
don't make
still
me go inside. I got the same set. You know I do.
Here we go.
Now, what's those fancy things there? The metal one.
They're just scoops.
It's just powder scoops.
Is that metal?
It's for my brown sugar.
That one's adjustable. I remember that video you did on that one.
Yeah, this is this one's adjustable, so you can adjust your scoop.
Y'all have y'all are like the go-go gadgets of casting.
Sure.
Like Jimmy said earlier, the more you go down the rabbit hole, the more stuff you're going to end up with, and the more questions you're going to have, and all the rest of it.
They make
the bigger my list gets.
Lee makes a complete kit of dippers, and on certain powders, they work great. Like it says that you're supposed to drop 4.5 grains with this scoop of this powder, but I found it's only 4.3. But guess what? The load that I'm looking for is 4.3. So you just reach in there and go whoop, whoop, whoop. You know,
Yeah, I actually plan on getting a Lee single stage next month for my March demo class, because I think some of the people felt like they had to go buy Dylan just because I was showing them on mine, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
you don't have to go drop $500.
The only problem with a single stage press is there's a lot of die changing. That's why I use my lead turret press as a single stage press. I don't even know where the reaction rod is. I have no clue where it is because I've never used it that way.
Well, seeing as how it's coming out of my pocket, they're getting what I get.
So what was that buzzing? Anybody figure it out?
Was it somebody's phone?
Yeah, sorry about that.
It was Eagle.
That's fine, man. I thought and it happened right at the 2-hour mark. So that's us telling us to get off of here. So
I'm proud of you, Taco. You got the direction right the first time.
I went like that. And then I had to go
no, you didn't. You went straight through it. It's him over there.
All right, so we'll start with Taco. What you got coming up, brother?
With what? Projects or what?
Yes.
Oh, too many. Well, this is not even about reloading or casting, but I ordered a Palmetto AK and then a Palmetto KS47. And so I got them both around on sale at the same price. I wanted to compare the two. They both take AK mags, and just wanted to see what's better in what ways. But I have to wait for next. It's going to arrive this coming week. So, but yeah, I'm working on a lot of different things right now. Some 10mm projects, hollow points. I still need to do a 358 Yeti video, like loading and shooting, but too much to do.
Right.
Kenny?
Well, I got a couple interview videos I got to edit real quick. I didn't want to bombard my YouTube video or channel with just a bunch of SHOT Show videos like everybody else would do. I figured kind of a more in-depth, detailed article on the website and then a little quick video recap on the thing I'm talking about will help out quite a bit. I do have a couple of rifle builds that I'm doing. I'm actually working on a 7mm PRC cartridge. So it's a little different. It's a neck down version of the 300 PRC. I got to fix my 7 SOM. I'm going to test out a couple chassis rifles and see what works. And other than that, just more cast lead videos. I'm going to try pushing out the same bullet load that I have in a 30-06 and see if that could be pushed out at 2900 FPS as well. good accuracy.
And as soon as Kenny gets his license, I gotta send some stuff to him, and we're gonna work on a few things.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta check out my PO box. I think I may have gotten it.
Well, that would be cool. Let me know, because I've got like all these cool things I need you to do.
Awesome. Man. Yeah, I would love just the experience and just to have fun with the projects you have. So appreciate that.
Yeah, Kenny, you're going to be Al the second. Taco's going to keep you busy all the time. Okay, so let's move on with Miss Sharonda. What are you doing?
I have a pheasant hunt coming up, and then as part of my two-way community support, I'm actually going to be working with the church and the Pheasants Forever organization to get several inner city youths, hunters, ed certified, and then take them on their first hunt and introduce them to gun safety and shotgun shooting. So that's my project for the next 60 days.
That's awesome.
Y'all still want to keep her around?
Yeah, that's cool to take the time to serve and help, the next generation of people get into guns and also to understand them and know how to use them safely and all that stuff. So good on you for that.
That's our focus. Safety first, and then go and shoot the stuff, but do it responsibly.
Yeah. If you're safe, you'll have fun.
Yep. That's
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You'll never go wrong helping people.
No, and I actually enjoy it. I'm starting to get a lot of people asking me to do stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what I can do. There's so many other people you can go and bother, and they're like, but you're still new, so you understand. And I'm like, okay, you got me there.
You must make really good coffee. That's what it is.
Because you wouldn't be doing it if you didn't enjoy it. So don't say
I do charge them coffee.
Okay, Sharon, before we move on to Kyle, tell Kenny and Taco what kind of coffee you're drinking.
I am drinking Cameron's Southern Pecan.
Pecans?
Yep.
That sounds delicious.
She says that almost like a Georgia girl, don't she?
She said pecans.
Pecan.
All right, Kyle, what you got coming up, bud?
I want to get with you and shoot a bunch of this 44 Magnum I done loaded up. We got a little range time to do, and my dog's going stupid.
She's eating them peanut butter balls.
See, I want to start getting back into Survival Sunday things, but I'm running out of ideas. I'm going to have some time here in the next month or two to make some Survival Sunday videos. I'll just post them on Sunday. The weather's supposed to start getting better. I love what Thoughts of an Old Soldier did with making a shelter, a survival shelter when you have to. That was awesome. I really love that. It's kind of inspired me to get back into making them. I enjoyed making them. I just ran out of stuff to talk about because a lot of the crap that I know nobody gives a crap about. So. But yeah, we got some
Sorry.
we got some range time to do here shortly, Jamie. We're gonna see if we can burn a barrel out of a Henry and a Ruger Red Hawk. I've been busy.
I'm going to be getting this 350 Legend out so we can take that with us too. So, Scotsman, take as long as you need to tell us about Mr. Holster.
I'll keep it short, man. We're over time, but I do appreciate the link as always, brother. It was good to be here. Good to see Taco here and Kenny. And Kenny, I appreciate the short video, brother. The recap, it was awesome. Good job. I appreciate you not blowing up YouTube. Thank you, brother. With that being said, guys, please check out the GoFundMe for Mr. Holster. Again, he's still fighting the battle of cancer. And lots of good items up for grabs if you guys are interested. Again, it's not about the item. It's about helping him, but it gives you a little bit of incentive. So we appreciate it for sure.
Well, thanks for being here. I want to thank all of our panel members for taking time out to join us. Hopefully, Chico Wise will be back next week. It's always a pleasure to have y'all with us on Friday nights. And to our viewers, welcome. Thank you for coming as well. And we look forward to unwinding with you guys on Friday nights. A lot of stress going on this week in my life, and I appreciate y'all coming out. And with that, y'all say good night, and we will see y'all next Friday night. And may God bless you all real good. Say good night, y'all.
Good
All right,
night.
later, guys.
Have a good weekend.